Have you ever wondered why there are so many nice and neat decorated skeletons between October 31st and November 2nd? Well, during those days, there is a celebration called Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead, where Mexican Americans celebrate during those couple of days their beloved death ones. This topic means so much to me because me and my family members celebrate during those couple of days, and we get to reunite together as a family and feel the spirits of our beloved death ones. Today in my speech, I would love to inform you more of what goes on during the Day of the Dead. My first point is history. Between October 31st and November 2nd, we celebrate what is called the Day of the Dead. According to Sonia Livingston, Native people view death as part of their natural continuum. This celebration has been celebrated for many centuries and many more centuries to come, and I honestly think it means so much more to people when they get a little background information of what goes on and if they get to experience during those couple of days what we actually do. The first image of the Day of the Dead, according to Ragnar Christensen, is the Catrina, which was first made in 1894 by Jose Guadalupe Posada. Catrina, also known as the skeleton, has been the main skeleton known throughout Day of the Dead than all the other skeletons that have been made. This is the main skeleton that people visualize whenever they hear the Day of the Dead or Dia de los Muertos. The history behind the celebration brings me to my next main point, which is what is involved during those couple of days of getting prepared for the celebration. My second main point is decorations. During these few days of celebration, families prepare different types of food, we gather different types of flowers and drinks of what our beloved death ones liked. People even dress with costumes and make big images of skeletons for the big festival that happens in Mexico. I believe if you look up a lot of videos on YouTube of Day of the Dead in Mexico, you'll see tons more of information, more events of what goes on than what I'm explaining. People even put sugar skulls in their loved one's place in the cemetery or the ofrenda for adding decorations. I believe even Dallas, Texas had their first Day of the Dead celebration here, I think in November 2nd of this year, actually, in downtown Dallas. The decorations and objects leads me to my third main point, which is the ofrenda and altar. People set up little altars or ofrendas in their own homes to welcome their beloved death ones back into their home. Many decorations are put up in the altars and cemeteries to make them feel welcome and to make them feel special. According to Gina Franco, the feast can become another home worthy of the gathering of families and friends, worthy of restoration, which can have more meaning to someone, way more than what we expect. The ofrenda leads me into my last main point, which is the remembrance of our loved ones. We people who celebrate would like to welcome our loved ones' spirits back into the world. Like I said, we get different types of foods, flowers, and drinks that we set up along little sections of the ofrenda or altar that we make for the specific person that passed away. We put their specific food in the corner, their specific drink, and their specific flower, so that way they can have a little place in the ofrenda to make them feel welcome home. People also actually celebrate in the cemetery with big festivals with singing and dancing. We also put pictures of our death family members there. We try cropping them out so that way it could just be their picture, and we put them in their specific corner where we put their foods and drinks and what else they like. These couple of days of celebration can either be happy or sad days for people. It could be a good time for people because then they get to gather again with family and friends to celebrate their beloved death one. But at the same time, it could also be sad for the ones that just had a recent death. Obviously, it's going to be their first year without their beloved one, and it's obviously really hard to go through that time of celebration when you lost somebody and it's not really a celebration. People can welcome spirits of family members into their world. It may be believed that the border between the living and dead is actually dissolved in these couple of days of celebrations for the spirits to cross into our world. My history, decorations, altar, and remembrance all are a big part of the reason of why we celebrate this tradition in those couple of days. It brings people closer together and we can celebrate together our beloved death ones. This means way much more to me now that I know a little bit more of the background information of what actually happens during the Day of the Dead. So I honestly think that for the next Day of the Dead, it's going to mean much more, and I'll actually understand what goes on, and I think it'll have more meaning to me. Thank you for spending time with me, listening about what goes on during the Day of the Dead, and I cannot wait to hear what my group mates have to inform me about of their topic. Thank you.